Hello and welcome to Brush My Quant channel. Today we will be talking about sequences, arithmetic progression and geometric progression. If you wish to receive continuous updates from us, consider subscribing to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button to the right bottom of the channel. So let's get started with today's topic of sequence. Today we will be talking about what is arithmetic progression. Then we'll look into AP formulas. We'll solve a couple of problems on AP. Then we'll talk about what is geometric progression. We'll look into GP formulas, a couple of problems on GP, and then we'll solve some miscellaneous problems. So let's start with what is arithmetic progression. Arithmetic progression is a sequence of numbers such that the difference between the consecutive terms is constant. Arithmetic progression is also known as arithmetic sequence or arithmetic series. Let's take an example to understand this. So let's say the series is 2, 5, 8 and 11 and so on. Now we see that the consecutive terms have the same common difference of 3. What do we mean by this? So if you look at the terms, they actually have a difference of 3. Now since the consecutive terms have the same common difference of 3, so that makes this series as an arithmetic series or an arithmetic progression. Now let's try to generalize this and let's try to generate a formula for this series. So if we try to write this series in a generic form, let's say the first term is A and we add a number D to the first term to get the second term as A plus D and the third term as A plus 2D and so on. Now let's look at all the terms in sequence. So the first term, which can be written as T1, is nothing but A, and it can be written as A plus 1 minus 1 times D, which is nothing but A plus 0D or A itself. The second term is A plus D, and it can be written as A plus 2 minus 1 times D, which is nothing but A plus D. And the third term is nothing but A plus 2D, and it can be written as A plus 3 minus 1 times D. So if you look at all of them, you can actually find a pattern in this. So when we talk about the first term, we are writing it as A plus 1 minus 1 times D. The second term as A plus 2 minus 1 times D. Third term as A plus 3 minus 1 times D. So you can see the pattern and we can definitely write Tn or nothing but the nth term as A plus n minus 1 times D. So let's say if I need to find the sixth term in this, so I can write T6 as nothing but A plus 6 minus 1 times D or nothing but A plus 5D. So remember this formula. In an arithmetic series, if you have to find the nth term, then you can use A plus n minus 1 times D. Now let's see what are the different terms in this formula. So the formula is Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1 times D, where A is nothing but the first term of the sequence, D is the common difference or the difference between the consecutive terms, n is the number of terms, and Tn is nothing but the nth term of the sequence. Now remember that n doesn't have to be the last term. Whatever term you need to find, let's say you want to find the 8th term, then T8 will become A plus 8 minus 1 times D, or nothing but T8 will become A plus 7D. Right? So remember this formula to find the nth term of an arithmetic progression. Now let's look at how can we find sum of n terms of an arithmetic progression. So sum of n terms of an arithmetic progression is given by n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 times d. We can further simplify this to write Sn is equal to n multiplied by a plus n minus 1 times d divided by 2, or nothing but sum of n terms is given by number of terms multiplied by mean of first term and last term. Why is it first term and last term? Because this can be simplified as n multiplied by a plus, now a plus n minus 1 times d was nothing but the last term and divided by 2. So this becomes number of terms, which is n, multiplied by mean of first term and last term, which is mean of a, which is the first term, and the last term, which is tn. So remember this formula to find sum of n terms of an arithmetic progression. Now let's look at the formula to find the number of terms in an arithmetic series. So to find the number of terms in an arithmetic series, we can rearrange the formula for Tn. Now you remember Tn was nothing but a plus n minus 1 times d. Now if we rearrange this, n minus 1 times d can be written as Tn minus a. N minus 1 can be written as Tn minus a divided by d, and n can be written as Tn minus a, which is nothing but the first term, so T1 divided by d plus 1. So to find the number of terms in an arithmetic series, we can actually use this formula where n, which is nothing but the number of terms, is equal to last term minus the first term divided by the common difference plus 1. Now the last formula in this is, remember, in case of an arithmetic series, mean of the series will also be equal to median of the series and will also be equal to average of your first term and last term. Now given these formulas, let's try and solve some problems for arithmetic progression. You can pause the video and give it a shot, and once you are done, you can resume to see the solution. Hope you would have solved the problem by now. So let's try it out. So find the number of terms in the series 3, 4, 5 up to 21. So we have been given a series of consecutive numbers starting from 3 going all the way till 21. So let's use the formula for number of terms, which is nothing but the last term minus the first term divided by common difference plus 1. Now we know the last term is 21 here, the first term is 3, and since these are consecutive numbers, so the common difference is 1 plus 1. So this gives us 18 divided by 1 plus 1, which is nothing but 90. Let's try one more. So find the sum of first n positive integers. That is sum of 1, 2, 3 up to n. Again, you can pause the video and give it a shot, and once you are done, you can resume the video. I hope by now you would have solved the problem. So let's give it a shot. Now the series given to us is 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way up to n, and we need to find the sum of this series. Now we know sum of the series can be found by number of terms multiplied by mean of first term and last term. We know number of terms is n multiplied by mean of first term and last term, which is nothing but mean of 1 plus n. So sum of first n positive integers is nothing but n into n plus 1 by 2. Now this is also a general formula which you can use. Now what are the conditions when you can use this formula? So sum of first n positive integers will be equal to n into n plus 1 by 2. Now this formula can be used only when the terms are starting from 1 and the series comprises of consecutive integers. So these are the two conditions which should be satisfied, then only you can use this formula. Now what do you do if it is an arithmetic progression and these conditions are not satisfied? Then in that case, you can use your general sum of n terms formula for the arithmetic sequence, which was n by 2 multiplied by 2a plus n minus 1 times d. Let's try more problems now. You can pause the video and give it a shot. I hope you would have got the right answer by now. Let's try it out. So find the sum of first 50 positive integers. That means the series is 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 50. So we know that the number of terms in this is 50. We know the common difference is 1. We also know the first term is 1. So we can use any of the formulas to find the sum of first 50 positive integers. Let's use the formula n into n plus 1 by 2, which gives us 25 multiplied by 51, which is nothing but 25 into 1 is 25, 25 into 5 is 125, plus 2 is 127. So the answer is 1275. Let's try one more. You can pause the video and give it a shot. I hope you would have got the correct answer by now. Let's give it a shot. Find the sum of all the integers between 40 and 100 inclusive. That means both 40 and 100 have to be included in the series. So the series is 40, 41, 42, all the way up to 100. And we need to find sum of all the integers. Now let's find out the number of terms first. And we know number of terms is given by the last term minus the first term divided by common difference, which is 1 plus 1, which is nothing but 61 in this case. Now to find the sum of n terms, we can use number of terms multiplied by mean of first term and last term, which is nothing but 61 multiplied by 140 by 2, or 61 multiplied by 70, which is nothing but 4270. Let's try one more. You can pause the video and give it a shot. Okay, let's try it out. So which term of the sequence 1, 4, 7, 10 is 43? So what all they have given us? They have given us the first term, which is 1. They have also given us the last term, or Tn, as 43. We can also find the common difference, which is nothing but 4 minus 1, which is 3. And we can use the formula for the last term or the nth term as your Tn minus a divided by d plus 1, which is nothing but 43 minus 1 divided by 3 plus 1, which is nothing but 42 by 3 plus 1, or 14 plus 1, which is 15. So 43 is the 15th term of this series. Let's try one more. You can pause the video and give it a shot. I hope you would have got the right answer by now. Let's try it out. So if the first term of a sequence is 2, so we have been given the first term as 2, and the last term of the sequence is 44. That means Tn is 44, and the number of terms is also given to us as 15. We need to find sum of all the terms of the sequence. Again, we can use sum of n terms is nothing but number of terms multiplied by mean of first term and last term, which is nothing but 15 multiplied by 46 by 2, or 15 multiplied by 23, and which is nothing but 15 into 3 is 45, 15 into 2 is 30, plus 4 is 345. So our answer is 345. I hope the arithmetic progression theory is clear to you now. Let's move on to geometric progression. So what exactly is geometric progression? So geometric progression is a series in which the consecutive terms have the same common ratio. Geometric progression is also known as geometric sequence or geometric series. Let's take an example to understand this. Let's say the series is 2, 6, 18, 54, and so on. Now if you notice, the consecutive terms have the same ratio of 3:1. What do we mean by this? So if you take 6 and divide it by 2, you get the ratio as 3:1. You take 18 and divide it by 6. Again, you get the ratio as 3:1. So the consecutive terms have the same common ratio. Now let's try to generalize this. So if we try to write a generic geometric series, it can be written as the first term being A, multiply it with a common ratio to get the second term as AR, again multiply it with R to get the next term as AR square, and so on. So let's try to generalize the formula. So the first term can be written as A, which can be written as A times R raised to 1 minus 1. The second term is AR, and it can be written as A times R raised to 2 minus 1. Similarly, the third term can be written as A times R raised to 3 minus 1. And if we go like this, then finally we can write the nth term as A times R raised to n minus 1. So remember, in a geometric progression, the nth term can be found using Tn is equal to A times R raised to n minus 1. Now let's try to understand the formula for sum of n terms. Sum of n terms of a geometric progression is given by Sn is equal to A multiplied by R raised to n minus 1 divided by R minus 1, where A is the first term, R is the common ratio, and n is the number of terms in the geometric progression. Let's try out some problems now. You can pause the video and give it a shot. I hope by now you would have got the right answer. Let's try it out. So find the sum of first 10 terms, so n is given to us as 10, of a geometric series whose first term, which is A, is 3 and the common ratio is 2, so R is equal to 2. So we can use sum of n terms is equal to A multiplied by R raised to n minus 1 by R minus 1, which is nothing but 3 multiplied by 2 raised to 10 minus 1 divided by 2 minus 1. It's nothing but 3 multiplied by 2 raised to 10 is 1024 minus 1 divided by 2 minus 1 is 1, which is nothing but 3 multiplied by 1023, which gives us 3069 as the sum of first 10 terms of this geometric series. Let's try one more. You can pause the video and give it a shot. Okay, so let's solve this. So which term of the geometric series, this is the series given to us, is 4096. So let's write down the things which are given to us. So the first term is given to us, which is 4. The nth term is given to us as 4096. We can find out the common ratio, which is 8 divided by 4, which is nothing but 2. And we need to find out the value of n. So let's use the Tn formula. So Tn is equal to A times R raised to n minus 1. Let's substitute the values. So 4096 is equal to 4 multiplied by 2 raised to n minus 1. Let's divide 4096 by 4 to get 1024 is equal to 2 raised to n minus 1. We know 1024 is 2 raised to 10. So this is equal to 2 raised to n minus 1. So here we have a concept of exponents. So if two exponents are equal and if their bases are same, then even their powers will be same. So that means we can equate 10 and n minus 1 to get the value of n as 10 plus 1, which is nothing but 11. That means 4096 is the 11th term in this sequence. Hope by now your concepts of arithmetic progression and geometric progressions are clear. So let's have some fun now and try to figure out some of these series which are neither arithmetic progression nor geometric progression. So there are a sequence of questions. Let's start taking the questions one by one and let's try to figure out what is the nth term of this series and how can we write the nth term in terms of n. So let's try the first one. So if I look at the series, the first term is 1, the second term is 4, The third term is 9. Now in this problem, you have to relate the term number with the actual term. So let's try to do that. So we see 1 is nothing but 1 square, 4 is nothing but 2 square, 9 is nothing but 3 square. So we can write the nth term as n square. Let's try the second one. So the first term is 1, second term is 8, third term is 27, and as you have rightly guessed, this is nothing but n cube. Let's try the third one. So the first term is 2, second term is 5, third term is 10. I can see the series is increasing pretty fast, and if I try to find a logic between 2 and 1, I can probably say this is 1 plus 1. But if I try to use the same logic here, this number should have been 2 plus 1, 3, but that's not the case. So that logic will not work. Let's try something else. Let's try to relate this series to the first one. So I can write 2 as 1 square plus 1, that works. 5 as 2 square plus 1, that works. 10 as 3 square plus 1, that works too. So that means my nth term can be written as n square plus 1. Let's try the fourth one. So T1 is equal to 2, T2 is equal to 9. And I don't think so I need to go further. You would have guessed it by now. This is nothing but the second series plus 1. So the nth term is nothing but n cube plus 1. Now let's try some tougher ones. Let's try the fifth one. So in this case, T1 is equal to 2, T2 is equal to 6, T3 is equal to 12. Now again, the numbers are increasing quite fast. So probably they are either squares of some numbers, or I'm adding a couple of numbers to get them. Or they might even be product of a couple of numbers. So let's try to see what logic we can apply. So this is 2 and this is 1. So this can probably be 1 into 2. Now this is 6 and this is 2. I cannot write it as 1 into 2 because we will not get 6. What happens if we write it as 2 into 3? So that works. So I think it can be something like the term number multiplied by term number plus 1. Let's use the same logic here. So can we write 12 as 3 into 4? We can. So that means Tn can be written as n into n plus 1. Let's try the sixth one. T1 is equal to 2, T2 is equal to 4, T3 is equal to 8. You would have guessed it by now. So this can be written as 2 raised to 1, 2 raised to 2, 2 raised to 3. So Tn can be written as 2 raised to n. Let's try the seventh one. So the sequence is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 7, 16. So all of a sudden it has started increasing quite a lot. Definitely if you go in sequence, there is no logic which looks clear to us, right? Now what happens if we go for alternate terms? Can we find a pattern? Looks like the alternate terms are actually in sequence. So for the odd number of terms, we know it is directly the term number. So that part looks straightforward. What happens when it's an even number term? So T2 is 2, T4 is 4, T6 is 8. That's interesting. And T8 is 16. So let's write that one. T2 is 2, T4 is 4, and T6 is 8. Can we write this one as 2 raised to 1, 2 raised to 2, 2 raised to 3? So for even values, can we write Tn as 2 raised to n by 2? And for odd ones, can we write this as n itself? We can. So for even case, this is the condition, and for odd case, this is the condition. Let's try question number 8. So the series is 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and 13. Now what is happening here? You are adding the first term and the second term to get the third term. Similarly, you add the second and the third term to get the fourth term. How will you write this series? Your Tn is equal to Tn minus 1 plus Tn minus 2. And it is given to you that your T1 is 1, T2 is 2, and your n has to be greater than. Let's try the last one. So 1, 2, 2, 4, 8, and 30. Now what is happening here? Instead of adding, you are actually multiplying the first two terms to get the third term. You multiply the second and the third term to get the fourth term. So how can you write this? You can write this as Tn is equal to Tn minus 1 multiplied by Tn minus 2. And it is given to you T1 is 1, T2 is 2, and again your n is greater than 2. So these are some of the interesting series where they are neither arithmetic series nor geometric series, but you can still use some logic to figure out what could be the nth term and how can you generalize the series. Hope this video was helpful to you and you are able to understand both arithmetic series and geometric series in a lot of detail and all your concepts are clear. If you found this video useful, please go ahead and like the video, provide your valuable comments, subscribe to the channel, and do share this video with your friends. Thank you.